you know, it's just when artists, I think, you know, tell stories, it kind of gives me a deeper look into the song and where the song came from and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna tell another story. So this song, this is an interesting song because when I was walking over here, we went out to get some food, and I was walking over and I bumped into a guy that was coming to the show, and we were just talking, and he was like, oh, you know, I got your new album and stuff, and I'm just curious. I'm like, oh, what's your, you know, favorite tune off the album? And he said, Bowl of Light. And I've had a lot of people tell me that, and it's interesting because, you know, when you come out with a new project, you kind of, in your mind, you're like, oh, I think these songs really, people are really going to gravitate to, or maybe this not so much, or this and that. And Bowl of Light is a song that is very, very dear to me, but I didn't know if y'all would vibe on it as much. And I've had a lot of friends and family, they say that Bowl of Light is kind of their song, so I'm just gonna play it tonight for y'all. Yeah. So this song is inspired by a Hawaiian creation story, and when we were in Hawaii, I was reading this book called Tales of the Night Rainbow, and it's told by this grandmother from Molokai, just about the Hawaiian traditions and their spirituality and family customs before the islands were taken over and stuff. And the first story I read in the book is about the Bowl of Light, and all the Hawaiians believe that every soul that comes into this universe is born with a bowl of light, you know, and that light is like our spiritual energy. It's our mana, they call it. If you know, practice yoga, you may hear the word prana. It's like the same thing. It's like our life breath, our divine essence, you know. And the Hawaiians say that the whole goal of life is to grow your bowl of light, right? Let your light shine, right? So they say that the people that have perfected this are the ones that can do marvelous works. You know, they can heal the sick by a touch, or they can travel from island to island without a boat, or these types of stories, right? On the other hand, if you do something bad, like if you are bad to your little brother or something, or you steal a candy bar, or you know, do something bad, whatever, tell a lie, a stone goes into your bowl, and the stone and the light can't exist in the same space. So if you do enough bad things, then you are left with a heavy load. You are left with a bunch of stones. But the Hawaiians have hope, and they say that at any time you can flip your bowl upside down and start afresh. Oh, I know, right? Gotcha. So I heard this story, and I told my friend, I said, hey, I really resonated with that story. And she said, oh, well, you have to read this book called Bowl of Light, which is about this professor who kind of became a student of this very famous Hawaiian shaman named Hale Makua, right? And Hale Makua's whole thing was he traveled the whole world and taught people about the Bowl of Light and stuff and spread that message. So I kind of wrote this story, and I wrote this song, and story song, same thing. I wrote this thing, and about the Bowl of Light and about my kind of meditations, you know, during our time in Hawaii. But I didn't just want to take this song and take this story from the people and just play it without permission. It's their story, you know. I want permission, I want a blessing or something like that. So we were traveling to the Big Island to play this thing called Flow Fest, and it was really far out. We were out on this, you know, the lava is flowing across the road there. It's about to cut off part of the town, and we had this big music festival there, and it was just super like intense energy. And when we got there, my friend Jojo said, oh, that's who you have to get the blessing from. And he pointed to this big Hawaiian mama in this red dress, and she was just dancing, like doing her whole thing. And he's like, that's who you have to get your blessing from. She's like the queen bee. So the whole weekend I'm like thinking, okay, I want to like ask her, I'm shy or whatever. And I am, shut up. So I'm, you know, finally it's the last day. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. finally, it's the last day, and I see her sitting behind the stage. It's an outdoor thing, and she's sitting behind the stage in her car, and her car door's open. So I'm like, yeah, this is my shot. I'm gonna go up and ask her right now. So I run up to ask her, and just about, I'm like right in the door. I'm just about to introduce myself. She's like lighting this big joint, you know? And yeah, whoa, yeah, and I was kind of in that awkward space of like, she already saw me, so it'd be weird if I just like came up and turned around. So I was like, okay, I'm going for it, you know. So I know, just do it. So I said, hey, my name's Trevor, and I wrote this song called Bowl of Light, and I really like it if you maybe listen to it. And she was smoking, and the car was filling up with snow. She, I know about the Bowl of Light. And I'm like, oh, good. Well, anyway, I was just wondering, maybe I could play it for you, and you could like give me a blessing or something. And you know, and she's like smoking, and it's like a lot's going on, there's noise, and she kind of grumbles something, I don't know what it was. And then she's like, okay. And I was like, okay. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, okay. And I cruised backstage, and my wife was like, did you get the blessing? And I was like, I don't know. And so I love how you guys think this is so funny. It wasn't funny at the time. So I get up on stage, and I'm like, shoot, I didn't get it, but luckily she was standing right there, you know. It was a really small stage, very like homegrown, like roots vibe, you know. At Kalapana, right? Were you guys there? Were you there? You were at Flow Fest? Full circle, that's crazy. So you know this is a true story, this is not a lie, I'm not making this up. Okay. So anyway, she's in the front row, and I have the mic, and I'm like, okay, hey, Auntie Emily, I have this song, and I'd like to play it for you, and if I could get a blessing. She's like, okay, she's listening. So because it was a new song, I wrote out all the words on pieces of paper, I put them at the mic stand, and then I close my eyes, I'm doing my thing, I'm starting to sing, all stuff. And about halfway through the song, I just like felt this thing happen, and I just burst into tears, like uncontrollable tears, just like sobbing like a baby. And yeah, it's just crazy, man. And you know, because I had my eyes closed the whole time, I didn't know what was going on, and I probably wasn't singing the song very well because I was sobbing. But I opened my eyes, and I see that on all the lyrics are all these lava stones, you know. And I was like, oh shoot, I don't know if that's good or bad. But I look at Auntie Emily, and I said, Auntie, did you like it? She said, yeah, and she gave me her blessing. And when I got off stage, my wife said that while you were singing, Auntie was taking the stones and like kind of doing this hula, and then blessing them and putting them on the lyrics. So I thought that was a good thing. I know, gotcha again. Shoot. So, no, we're not done yet, yo. I told you get me started, I don't stop. So anyway, backstage, this other woman comes up to me, and she says, hey, I just heard your song, The Bowl of Light, and I went back to my bag. I didn't even know that this was in my bag, but I thought you'd like it. And it was a picture of Hale Makua, shaman, right? So I was like, man, this is just far out, you know. And I feel like when you have like a sincere heart, you know, when you really like pray with a sincere heart, Spirit really answers you like full. There's an expression in India, they say if you take one step towards Spirit, Spirit takes 10 steps towards you, right? So I was just feeling this like super like, oh, just gratitude and everything. And the next day we go down to this spot called K-Bay to go swim with the dolphins. That's the thing to do down there. You can go out and dolphins come in and swim with dolphins. So right when we get down there, we see right there on the water this beautiful Hawaiian heiau. A heiau is a word for Hawaiian temple, right? It's just super strong vibes, and we're like, man, this is a holy place, you know, this is so cool. And we kind of go out swimming for a while, and my friend Jojo stays on the shore, and he starts chatting it up with this guy named Dolphin Dave. And Dolphin Dave is a guy that has been in K-Bay for like 10 years. And he takes people to go swim with the dolphins. That's his whole thing. And it's kind of like his, his life. It's become his life. So my friend's asking, hey, how'd you become Dolphin Dave, man? Like, what happened, And he's like, oh, well, I was just a dude and came down here one day and I saw this guy sitting out on the rocks over there. And he was kind of meditating or something. And I went over to him and I just felt this attraction. And I tapped him and he looked at me. And he just said, you gotta swim with the dolphins. So I've been swimming with the dolphins for the past 10 years. But it's interesting because that one line, right? We say, a moment with the beloved and the river changes course, right? That one line changed his whole life, right? And now that's his connection to spirit. That's his connection to people. That's his livelihood. That's his whole thing, And so my friend said, well, do you know who that guy, like, who was that dude, Who was that guy? And Dolphin Dave said, oh, he was a Hawaiian shaman. His name was Hale Makua. And this is his temple over here, this heiau, So, without even knowing it, I felt like the spirit of Hale Makua led us there to the place where he actually practiced his, bowl of light meditation and all this stuff. And anyway, it's just a cool story. I don't know.